Welcome back to another one of these all-time college teams in the NFL. Today we are doing Florida State University. The defense is way better than the offense of this team, but let's get started with the offense here. Jameis Winston, famous Jameis, the starting quarterback. Devontae Freeman, Dalvin Cook, and Chris Thompson. Good group of running backs there. EJ Manuel is also here for quarterback. I'm going to be starting Dalvin Cook at fullback because I still want him to get some kind of playing time, like more reps than a typical backup would get. I'm not sure if it'll really affect, or like if me putting him at fullback will really affect all that much. But Devontae Freeman will be the lead back. Wide receiver group is pretty poor. I was contemplating putting Chris Thompson, as a wide receiver. He's like a 71 overall. I think I'm just going to let it go and keep Kelvin Benjamin, Rashad Green, and then this Tate guy. I'm actually going to slide him up to the number 2. He's going to be playing in the slot, even though he's, 6'5". I guess he has okay short route running. It's the best out of all those. So I guess, it makes the most sense, I feel, to have him as like a slot guy. And like the number 2, maybe he can be a red zone threat when that comes. Kelvin Benjamin, I guess, will be the number 1. Rashad Green Sr. will be the number 2 in some packages and the number 3 in some others. Whatever happens there. Wide receiver group is not strong. We definitely are looking to draft one, if possible. Bobby Hart, Cameron Irving, Ronnie Hudson, Leonard. I don't know who this guy is. Rick Leonard, I just found him in free agency. The database I use and Derpy Derp's team didn't have a full offensive line, but I was able to find these guys in free agency, just kind of chilling. So Rick Leonard went to Florida State, and so did Roderick Johnson. Whatever. So, he's not too bad, I guess. He's a 67 overall. Leonard is a rookie as well. Ronnie Hudson, obviously the best piece on this offense in its entirety, I think, like overall-wise. 95 overall. He's actually really good. Nick O'Leary will be the starting tight end. This Izzo guy also went to Florida State, so he will be the backup. He's primarily a blocking dude. I could probably move him down to fullback. I'll keep Dalvin Cook there. Let's see if it does anything. But then this defense. If you look at the coach's name, I think you can understand. This secondary is probably the best out of any team I'll do in any of these series. I'm not sure. I could just be missing out on some guys, but Jalen Ramsey is probably the best cornerback to get in simulation. Arguably the best cornerback in the NFL. Some people would probably argue that. I'm not sure if he's having a down year or anything right now. I haven't really heard of him too much, but maybe people just aren't targeting him. I know he had a pick against the Eagles, but he could obviously just not be getting targeted because he's so good. Xavier Rhodes is another pretty good cornerback. He's, all these guys, all these corners here pretty much that are the top 3 are like the number 1 corner on each of their teams. So like Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Rhodes, Ronald Darby, who just got injured for the rest of the season, which sucks. The Eagles secondary is tragic right now. But anyway, Ronald Darby's on this team. Patrick Robinson, I wish he were still on the Eagles. I think he's out though this season. PJ Williams also here, very deep at corner. And then LaMarcus Joyner is a very talented free safety. Derwin James might be the best strong safety to get in rebuilds. He's an 84 overall superstar development. He is a rookie, so he develops like crazy. Nigel Bradham is a good outside linebacker. Telvin Smith as well. Vince Williams, the best middle linebacker I could find. And then Mario Edwards Jr., starting right end. Is this Josh Sweat, right? Yeah, he's on the Eagles. He's a rookie. Quick development. Maybe he can get something done. 85 speed. Pretty good athlete there. Tammy Jernigan, Eddie Goldman are the defensive tackles. We have Nadi here too. I'm not sure. Nanadi. I'm sure you probably don't pronounce like the first N or something. But, he's here as well. I would like to start him, I guess, but Tammy Jernigan, Eddie Goldman, I think I'll just keep those guys above Nadi, or Nanadi. I don't know how it's pronounced. But Mario Edwards Jr. doesn't really fit as a 3-4 right end. I guess I could throw Walker in. I think that's actually who is starting. I think DeMarcus Walker is actually starting as like the specialist rush right end. Yeah, he is. So that's fine. I guess DeMarcus Walker will be starting there. Josh Sweat rush left end. Timmy Jernigan rush defensive tackle. Even though he is slow, he's like one of the slowest players in this game. 71 speed. I'm thinking of someone. I think I'm thinking of like Michael Pierce or something. I don't know why I thought he was that slow. He used to be on the Ravens, so maybe that's why I got kind of jumbled there. Ronald Darby will be the slot corner. Telvin Smith, sub linebacker. Auden Tate will be, the slot wide receiver. Chris Thompson, third down running back. Devontae Freeman, power halfback. So, this team isn't too bad. The offense isn't great. It's mainly just the offensive line and the wide receivers, as to why it's so poor. But, Jameis Winston's a good quarterback. Devontae Freeman's a great running back. And this defense is really good. So there's some potential for this team in the future. If we can draft some offensive linemen, that would be awesome. If we can draft a wide receiver, that would be even better. And there's not too much to, look forward to on defense. Maybe drafting a middle linebacker or something. I hope I don't find any corners or safeties because I really won't have any use for them. The team is not playing well at all right now. They are 1-6. The Seahawks are 4-3. That's who we have to take on this week. Raiders are 5-2. That's pretty surprising. Chiefs are 5-3. Actually, that's not that surprising. I think I traded Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram to the Raiders for their first round draft pick and some other stuff. That's usually what I do. Like, I'll trade a bunch of guys to make the team, and then whoever I have left over, I just trade for draft picks. But then the Chiefs are 5-3, and the Broncos are 1-7, so at least we're doing better than them. 1 experience point for a couple guys on the offense. I don't see anyone with 2. On the defensive side, 4 for Derwin James. That's going to be nice. Everyone else I can see has 1. Alright, so the team's not playing well. Hopefully we can have a good draft, though, and I will re-sign all these players, who I need to re-sign. The team did not end up making the playoffs this season, but they did go 5-11. Played kind of well the second half of the season. The Chiefs 12-4. The Raiders went 6-10. Wow, they fell off a lot. Weren't they like 5-2 or something at the midseason markers? 6-2. 4-12 though for the Broncos. Check out the playoff schedule. I always say playoff schedule, but I always mean team schedule. Whatever, 2-2 in the preseason. Beat the Chiefs to start off the season, lost a whole bunch in a row. Beat the Raiders and the Broncos, lost a whole lot in a row, just 4 actually. And then beat the Ravens and the Broncos. Second half of the season really wasn't that great, but it was better than the first half. I think we only had 1 win in the first half of the season. Drew Brees wins MVP. Jameis Winston, not a good season at all. 3,500 yards, 23 touchdowns, 13 picks. His completion percentage was really bad. He was also playing behind a really bad offensive line and had like no one to throw to. Devontae Freeman had 13 touchdowns, but couldn't really get much going. I'm sure this is, again, a product of the offensive line. Kelvin Benjamin actually gets over 1,000 yards with 7 touchdowns. Auden Tate played pretty well. 5 touchdowns, 957 yards, 6 touchdowns for Nick O'Leary. Rashad Green only got 1. Blocking, not that bad for as like, pass protection. So Jameis Winston just didn't really play that well. I mean, there weren't that many sacks let up. The run blocking probably wasn't great though. On the defense, 144 tackles for Telvin Smith, 124 for Nigel Bradham. Wow. 15 tackles for loss for Timmy Jernigan, 13 for Eddie Goldman, 12 for Telvin Smith. Okay. 8.5 sacks for DeMarcus Walker. It's actually a pretty good season. Josh Sweat only got 2.5. That's sad. Interceptions, 2 for Telvin Smith, Jalen Ramsey, Derwin James, and Vince Williams. 1 from LaMarcus Joyner and Xavier Rhodes. Do we have any touchdowns? We do not. Any safeties? We do not. And I see at least 1 blocked kick. 1 from LaMarcus Joyner, Tim Jernigan, and Kaiser White. Only 2 of those guys went to Florida State. So we were near last on offense. We were 31st. But we were 27th on defense. I guess a little bit better on the defensive side. Anybody from the Chargers? Of course, there isn't anyone. What team am I? The Chargers. So AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Deshaun Watson. Nobody from the Chargers. Sam Darnold, though, comes in 7th. Defensive Player of the Year. We have Telvin Smith in there, number 7. That's nice. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Sam Darnold. Auden Tate, though, comes in 6th. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Denzel Ward. Derwin James comes in 3rd. I'm sure he still has like 7 experience points, so it's okay. I'm alright with it. Experience-wise, we have 2 from Devontae Freeman. I think that's the most. Tate only got 1. Kind of sad. On the defense, though, 7 for Derwin James. Man, he's fun to have. 2 from a couple other guys as well. I am at the 4th pick in this draft, and I only found 3 players. It went to Florida State. A bit disheartening, and one of them's a cornerback, so that kind of sucks because I have so many good cornerbacks. I kind of want to do something weird and put like Derwin James down to linebacker and slide one of my corners up to safety. Because Derwin James, he's like 6'3". He's not like extreme. I think he's like 90 speed, so he's actually pretty fast. But I think his overall doesn't really go down much, or it doesn't really change too much if he's moved to linebacker. So there's a shot. There's a chance. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. But I still have to draft DeMarcus Bowers anyway. I don't have to, but I'm going to here. B+ zone coverage, B+ press coverage, B- man coverage. He looks really good. 80 overall, quick development. He's pretty slow though. Okay, so he has 85 speed, but really good coverage stats. I'm going to be trading away the next 3 draft picks I have because I don't need them. And, I'll get some draft picks for next year just in case there's a bunch of guys in next year's draft who are out of the, correct college. So I'll do that, and then I'll come back to you with, whoever I select next. I should have more than enough draft picks for next year, so I will be selecting the tight end now, I think. Both of these guys look terrible. So Jonathan Hireman, he is going to be a 68 overall tight end, and he is not good at anything. He has 72 speed. I think that was his highest attribute there. And then we will be selecting this defensive tackle, who I'm going to guess will be a 64 overall. And I feel like that's even a little bit generous, because he looks absolutely terrible. His top stat was like C+, I think. Harlos Florence. He's a good name, though. C+ pursuit, terrible combine. Let's just go with him. 64? What did I say? 65? I don't remember. Good strength. I mean, that's like the only decent thing about him. If anyone's curious as to how the rest of the draft panned out, the computer just selected all these guys for me. But, I mean, DeMarcus Bowers looks really good. I kind of want to get him involved somehow. But let's check out the rest of the NFL. Let's see who the highest rated player was. Penn State had a great draft this year, too, which kind of sucks. They had a quarterback, a cornerback, and a defensive tackle. So, pretty insane. Timothy Spitz, 82 overall right tackle with quick development. He's looking pretty good. Blair Schlotteraff. Ooh, what a good name. Out of Notre Dame, 6'6", 94 strength. He looks good too. Here's a look at a couple of the other guys, if anyone cares. A couple guys out of Florida looked good too. Brendan Plummer. He has a second-round draft pick. He looks nice too. 87 speed, 90 trucking, 92 stiff arm, 90 carrying. All right, one of those running backs. I think. Wait, who is the guy at Penn State? This dude. Star development, 80 overall, 84 man coverage, bad zone, not great speed, but pretty good looking corner. This is going to be the team heading into the second season. It went up in overall. We are now a 79 overall with an 89 overall defense, 73 overall offense. Nothing really changed on the offensive side. I wasn't really able to draft anyone who's going to start. We did draft a tight end. I'm not going to bother starting him though. Tate somehow got off the team. I thought I brought back everybody I needed to, but I guess I forgot about him. He actually signed with the Raiders, so I had to go trade for him. We got him back on the team though. He actually played kind of well last season. And then here's a look at the defense. I moved Derwin James to outside linebacker. This doesn't really make too much sense because he's small. I mean, Telvin Smith was a safety in college, and he's actually just as big, honestly. I thought he was bigger than that. 6'3", 211. Telvin Smith is 6'3", 215. So they're like the same build. I guess this kind of makes sense, though. I don't know, maybe. But he's an 87 overall at left outside linebacker after I spent the experience points. I moved Telvin Smith, the middle linebacker. Nigel Bradham will be the right outside linebacker. Bowers is now starting at strong safety. He's an 82 overall over there. He should actually play really well. LaMarcus Joyner's up to a 90. Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Rhodes, Ronald Darby are still the corners. Ronald Darby apparently is like a 86 overall free safety. I'm going to keep Bowers, though. I want him to play at strong and everything. DeMarcus Walker, Josh Sweat, Eddie Goldman, Timmy Jernigan are the defensive linemen. This defense is actually pretty good now. I feel like this team could potentially sneak into the playoffs. We would just need some guys on offense to play really well. Here we are at the mid-season mark, and we are 4-2-1. That is extremely surprising. The Raiders are 5-3, and we are above them, apparently. The Chiefs are 3-4, and the Broncos are 2-5. This just looks weird, seeing a team above another team who has less wins, you know? Anyway, the experience points. One for a couple guys on the offensive side. What about Tate? Yeah, he has one. He's actually been playing kind of well, to be honest. On the defense, 2 for Derwin James. Only 1 for Bowers. 1 for a couple other guys, though. None from Ronald Darby. All right, so I'll bring back everyone I have to. I'll scout as many players as I possibly can, and I'll see you at the midseason. I mean, at the end of the season. Where did Eddie Goldman go? I'm just looking through the team here to make sure everyone's in the right position, and Eddie Goldman just isn't here? What? Did we cut him? I definitely did not cut Eddie Goldman. Yeah, no, he's not cut. I can't trade for him. Was he not on the team at the beginning of the season? I swear he was. Oh, this is tripping me out a little bit. Let me go try to figure out where Eddie Goldman is. He's on the 49ers. How did he get on the 49ers? I didn't release him, did I? There's no way I released him. Alright, let me go through the transactions and see if I can figure out what happened. Why did they release him in week 4 of the preseason? I did not do this. What happened? I did not do this. I just simmed straight to the midseason from when, you know, I last talked. I simmed straight to the midseason. I did not release Eddie Goldman. Why did they release him? Alright. Well, that's fun. I think I know what I can do. I'm pretty sure I can retire my player right now. Or my coach. And then switch teams to the 49ers. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't want to risk anything messing up. Like, I'm pretty sure that would work. You know, if I, like, switch teams with the 49ers, release Eddie Goldman, and then switch back to the Chargers, and then sign him in free agency. But I'm kind of worried something will mess up. And the team's actually playing well. I mean, I don't think that, you know, the fact that Eddie Goldman isn't here has anything to do with that. But I will go to the end of this season and then try to trade for him next year. I did not release Eddie Goldman. I don't know why he was like an 85 overall, 84 overall. Why did they just release him? Like, if they had to release someone, why didn't they release, like, Dakota Watson? Who was a 69 overall. Or, like, my backup defensive tackle. Or my fourth string defensive tackle, you know? I don't know what happened. So that was very strange. But I guess I'll see you, you know, at the end of this season after I scout. We made the playoffs this season. We went 10-5-1. That's actually a really good record. We won the division. The Chiefs were 8-8. Raiders 6-10. Broncos 2-14. Wow. All right. So I think this team actually did better than the All-Alabama team did. 1-3 in the preseason. Lost the opening 2 games. Beat the Bears. Tied to the Texans. And beat the Vikings, Dolphins, Colts, and Titans. Lost by quite a bit to the Lions. Lost to the Chiefs. Won 4 in a row. Lost to the Jaguars. And then beat the Chiefs. All right. So that was a pretty good season. Ezekiel Elliott wins MVP. Stats, though. What kind of season? 3,300 yards, 18 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. This was a really bad season. 53% completion percentage. Okay, Devontae Freeman went off. 1,351 yards, 11 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook had 6 touchdowns. Chris Thompson, Jameis Winston, EJ Manuel. EJ Manuel rushed for a touchdown. Receiving, I mean, I didn't expect anyone to do well. That's such a strange season. Our slot wide receiver got 304 yards. Okay, we have a spread offense too. Offensive line still not playing too badly. Bobby Hart letting up 13. I've seen like insanely good offensive linemen let up like 15, so I don't really think that's that bad. 119 tackles for Telvin Smith. 99 for Derwin James with 4 interceptions. That's a pretty good season. 11 tackles for loss for Josh Sweat. Pretty nice. 10 for Derek Nottie. I'm going to pronounce it like that from now on. I'm sorry if I'm not saying it correctly. 7.5 sacks for Derwin James. He led our team in sacks. 6 for DeMarcus Walker. 4 interceptions for Derwin James. He's so versatile because he can actually play outside linebacker pretty well. 3 for Jalen Ramsey and Ronald Darby. 2 for Vince Williams. 1 for Telvin Smith, Nigel Bradham, Xavier Rhodes, DeMarcus Bowers, and Patrick Robinson. I think Vince Williams has had 2 of the past 2 seasons, but he had 17 tackles this year and he had like 30 last year. If he played a full season, he'd get like, apparently he'd get like 15 interceptions. Let's check out touchdowns. We have at least 1, and it's from Jalen Ramsey. Any safeties? We do not. Any blocked kicks? We have 2. Justin Jones. All right, that doesn't matter. Tank Carradine, though. Florida State alum got 1. 25th in the NFL on offense. We have to be like 1st on defense or something. 29th. What kind of season? This is such a strange year. Eddie Goldman randomly got cut. We don't even have that good of a team, and we made the playoffs going 10-5-1. All right. Ezekiel Elliott wins MVP. Le'Veon Bell, Todd Gurley, like 3 running backs at the top, and then, of course, Blake Bortles. You know, the next obvious candidate there. Nobody from the Chargers. Anybody in this from the Chargers? Devontae Freeman makes it, number 9. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Myles Jack. Derwin James comes in 3rd. Telvin Smith comes in 6th. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I don't think we started anyone. Defensive Rookie of the Year, our safety comes in 4th. Or our corner converted to safety comes in 4th. Let's check out experience, though. Not that many on the offense. That makes sense, though. The offense didn't really do anything. I'm surprised Devontae Freeman doesn't have any. On the defense, though, Derwin James, he has 6. Wow, he's going to be really good. Bowers has 2. Telvin Smith has 2. A couple other guys have 2 as well. Not bad at all. This is a look at the upgraded team. Not too much change on offense because we really didn't get many experience points. But on the defensive side, Derwin James is a 94 overall with confidence. He has really bad block shed, finesse move, and power move, of course, because he's not an outside linebacker. But he does have 90 speed, 93 acceleration, 90 zone coverage, 90 man coverage, 82 press coverage, 89 tackling. So he's pretty insane. He's definitely very good. This secondary as a whole is pretty unbelievable. But let's see if we can take down the Ravens. Hopefully we can get a playoff victory. We're a 79, they're an 82, so we have the overall disadvantage, but that hasn't stopped teams before from beating me. Let's advance the week and see if we can actually win. That would be pretty awesome. We did not win, 28-14. That was a close game. We'll get another season, though. Maybe we can make it back to the playoffs again. Let's see, 28-14. Let me check out the stats, though. They had more offensive yards by quite a bit. We had 39 rush yards. What's up with, like, sim rushing? And it's so bad, like, if you're going by game. Joe Flacco, 3 touchdowns. Jameis Winston did not play too well. Alex Collins had a touchdown. Devontae Freeman did nothing. Dalvin Cook had a touchdown, though. Mark Andrews had a lot of catches. Weird sim numbers. I'm trading up to the #1 overall pick just to make sure I can get this guy. I'm giving the Broncos the 8th overall pick. Kaiser White, I think his name is, and a second rounder, to get the whole job done here. And there is another really good looking cornerback out of Florida State, which is funny. Also, I just wanted to scout this guy to see what he was all about. This dude looks insane. D'Anthony Harmon out of Clemson. A spec catch, B+ release, B medium route running. I wish I could take him, but of course I cannot. We will be taking Rashad Bethea, though. 4.38 speed is very good. Really good 3-cone. Really good 20-yard shuttle. And good bench press. I'm not sure where this guy's going to play. 80 overall, quick development. I don't even know if this guy will play. But 94 speed, acceleration, and agility. Good coverage stats. There's so many amazing corners on this team. Like, I just feel like there's not enough room for that guy. But we have the 9th overall pick. And here I will be selecting a right tackle. And I'm really happy I can actually select a right tackle. So let's go get this guy. Hopefully he's here. Oh, there's a guy that skipped the combine down there. That's fun. It is going to be Ray Moss. This guy looks pretty good too. That guy looks really good. He's probably going to be better. But let's go with Moss. B+ pass block power, B+ pass block, B pass block finesse. Really good pass blocker. All right. 80 overall, quick development. That is a huge upgrade over Rod Johnson, right? Roderick Johnson, is that who we had starting? 89 strength, 86 pass block, 87 pass block power. Good pass block finesse. Not terrible run block. 74 really isn't that, or 79 isn't that great, but it definitely could have been a lot worse. There's actually a good number of players out of Florida State in this draft class, and since I'm not going to be doing another, season, so I don't have to trade away my picks or anything, there's no reason to. I'm just going to select everybody, just in the order they are here. A lot of these guys aren't going to be great. This guy looks like he could be pretty decent, though. Morris Phillips, let's go with him. 73 overall, normal development. Not too bad, 90 speed. 90 acceleration, 91 agility. Not that bad of a player. Obviously ranked really far out of the first round, but that's okay. We have 3 terrible players here before we get to the undrafted guys. Martinez McKinney. 63 overall. What a great reach there by the team. I actually don't have enough draft picks to select all these people. That's the first time that's ever happened. It's not really that big of a deal, though. I'm just going to select whoever I can. None of these guys would really start anyway, so I don't really think it matters. 66 overall. 87 speed. I mean, he's not that bad. 6'3", 87 speed isn't too bad. We have a quarterback, Houston O'Connell, with one of the worst combines I've ever seen. Let's go with it. 60 overall. There is not like one good stat on this guy. I have better deep accuracy than him in my player career, so that says something, I guess. I guess we can go with one of these offensive linemen in case any of them, is better than one of our starters. Derwin Phillips looks like the best out of all of them. Let's go with him. 70 overall flat. Not too bad. I could potentially slide that guy inside to start over our right guard. I think Derwin Phillips might actually be better than our right guard. Or he can even start at left tackle. Bobby Hart really hasn't been playing too badly, though, to be fair. And then let's go with, who's stronger? 33 reps. That's not bad at all. 24 reps. Okay, so let's go with Harmon Linton. 71 overall with quick development. Okay, this guy's not too bad, actually. He's a lot better than the dude we just drafted. He's only 1 overall point higher, but he does have a better development trait and had, better overall stats. I think, do we have 1 pick left, or do we actually have none? I guess we have none. I think it says it at the top. All right, cool. So we left 2 people there who I couldn't end up selecting. I should have remembered their names. I could sign them in free agency, but they're not going to play anyway. Let's go to the draft recap. This is like the first time I actually completed a draft in one of these, I think, where like I drafted everyone. There's actually that many players out of Florida State. Last season had like, what, 3? That was kind of a disappointment. But let's go to the NFL. Who is the highest rated player? It is Raymond Spears, our running back, with 93 speed star development. Wow. 93 speed and acceleration, 91 agility, 90 ball carrier vision, 88 carrying. This guy is amazing. I want to draft someone like that in my Jets franchise really badly. Kadeem Cox looks pretty good. 82 overall, quick development, 93 strength. Who is that other right tackle? It was this guy, Margarito Cherry. 81 overall, quick development, 94 strength. He looks really good as well. Also, I should mention, this is that wide receiver. 81 overall, quick development, 92 speed, but he's 6'5". He looks really, really good. I wish I could have selected him. So I'm not able to trade for Eddie Goldman. There's no one I can really get rid of on this team. Like, I don't have any backups who didn't go to Florida State. I don't want to trade anyone who did. So I won't be able to get Eddie Goldman. Kind of sucks a little bit. I offered the 49ers a first, a second, and a third round draft pick. It didn't go through. Then I offered a first, a second, and a first next year, and it didn't go through. So that's pretty much the best I can do right now. So I guess Eddie Goldman won't be on the team. I don't know why the computer decided to cut him. I'll say it one more time. I did not cut him. I had no intention of cutting him. But anyway, maybe they just really wanted that naughty guy to start. Here's a look at the offense. It's actually a 77 overall now. This right tackle helps out a lot. Linton is starting at right guard. He was one of the left tackles we drafted. So the offensive line, looking a little better. Still not good, but looking better. Jameis Winston, 81 overall. Hopefully Devontae Freeman can kind of carry this offense again. Wide receiver core is still bad. Tight ends are still bad. But this defense is tremendous. Derwin James up to a 93. Jalen Ramsey's a 99. Xavier Rhodes, though, is down to an 84. So I don't think I'm going to start him for this season. Let's get Bethea starting, right? I mean, he's a rookie. Why not? Has a lot more potential than Xavier Rhodes. He could potentially even go up higher than Rhodes after this season. The secondary is still good. Bowers, LaMarcus Joyner, great safety duo. The defensive line isn't too bad. Walker and Sweat are actually developing somewhat decently. Timmy Jernigan, Noddy are the defensive tackles. Again, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that guy's name wrong. Special teams, I don't even think I went over this, but Graham Gano, Dustin Hopkins both went to Florida State, of course, and so did Sebastian Janikowski. But I can't have him anymore because I guess he retired. Is this guy? Nope, can't use you. Even though you went to Penn State, can't use you. Bethea, I will use. I'll just put him as both of them. I think I can use that Phillips guy. I think he's the running back we drafted. Nope, hold on, I went down too many. Hold on. Phillips. You are the running back we drafted, so you can be, you know, one of the punt returners there. I'll make you the backup kick returner as well. Okay, so specialist, let's make sure this is all good. Derwin James can be pass rushing. I'm not going to have that happen. I want him being the starting sub linebacker, so I'll make sure that happens. Chris Thompson really wants to be the slot wide receiver. I want Bethea being the slot corner. And then this is almost good. I just need to put Derwin James as the sub linebacker, and then I'll send him to the end of the season. Sadly, this team was not able to return to the playoffs. How did they end up playing? 6-10, not great. Last year might have just been a fluke. I don't know. 10-5-1 for the Chiefs, 7-9 for the Broncos, 5-10-1 for the Raiders. I mean, based on like our offense and defense rankings from last year, it really didn't look like we should have made the playoffs. So it definitely was a fluke. 3-1 in the preseason. Lost the opening 3 games. Won 2 in a row though. Lost 4 in a row. Beat the Patriots and the Dolphins. Lost to the Falcons. Beat the Chiefs. Lost to the Raiders. Beat the Jets. And then lost to the Saints. Pretty up and down near the end. We lost a bunch in a row, though, in the beginning. So check out the stats. 3,761 yards for famous Jameis. 26 touchdowns, 9 picks. Pretty good season there for him. Devontae Freeman was good once again. 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 fumbles, though. I don't think he fumbled once in the last 2 seasons, and he fumbled 4 times this year. Dalvin Cook, 4 touchdowns. Not bad as a backup. Auden Tate, over 1,000 yards with 14 touchdowns. He's actually pretty good. Nick O'Leary, 2 touchdowns, but 73 grabs isn't bad. 793 yards. Kelvin Benjamin, 947 yards. Rashad Green really didn't do too much. I really wish we could have drafted a wide receiver at some point. That would have been great. Not many sacks let up though. This offensive line is pass blocking pretty well. 127 tackles for Derwin James. 8 tackles for loss. 7 sacks. 3 picks. He can really do everything, can he? 14 tackles for loss for DeMarcus Walker. That's a good season. 12 for Tim Jernigan. 11 for Telvin Smith and Derek Noddy. 7 sacks for Derwin James actually leads the team, but then really just no no pass rush really at all in this team. Interceptions, 3 for Derwin James and Jalen Ramsey, 2 for Lamarcus Joyner, 1 for DeMarcus Bowers, Rashad Bethea, and Ronald Darby. We have at least 1 touchdown. It's from Lamarcus Joyner. Any safeties? We do not have any blocked kicks. We have 1 from Vince Williams. He gets involved somehow. Every season he's had at least like a turnover or something like that. 23rd in the NFL on offense, 20th on defense. Those are better rankings than last year, and last year we had a much better record. Todd Gurley wins MVP. Le'Veon Bell, Teddy Bridgewater. All right. Nobody from the Chargers. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Le'Veon Bell. Nobody from the Chargers. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Derwin James, actually. Nobody else from the Chargers. I mean, Alexander Bates wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Nobody from our team. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Kywan Earl. Rashad Bethea, though, comes in 5th. Best quarterback goes to Wes Shotwell. Jameis Winston did not make it. I don't think so, right? Okay, I think I saw the blue of Marcus Mariota and was concerned I missed him. Le'Veon Bell is the best running back. Devontae Freeman, though, makes it at number 7. Is that Marlon Mack? Nice, he makes it from the Colts. It's actually really cool. Best wide receiver goes to Keenan Allen. Auden Tate is the 2nd best wide receiver at a 72 overall. Also, Keenan Allen's on the Bills. Let's hope that never happens. Auden Tate, though, pretty interesting. He's 2nd. I guess I wouldn't really care if that ever happens. It would just be weird for the Chargers to like trade him or release him or something. Best offensive lineman, David DeCastro. Rodney Hudson, though, comes in 6th. Easily the best offensive lineman on our team. Best D lineman, Myles Garrett. Nobody at all from our team. Best linebacker goes to Derwin James. All right. Nobody from the Chargers. Best defensive back, or nobody else from the Chargers. Clayton Geathers, up to an 86 overall. Sean Bayer, 96 overall. All right. Anybody from our team, though? I don't see anyone. Ronnie Harrison makes it. Wow. He played really well in my Jaguars rebuild, too. Best kicker, Brandon McManus. We have Graham Gano, though, at number 5. Not too bad. I'll overview the experience points, and then I'll say goodbye, and I'll outro the video and everything. 1 experience point for a couple guys. 7 from Tate. Are you serious? He has star development, too. That is so cool. Pro Bowl appearance. Okay, so he made the Pro Bowl. If he would have been the wide receiver of the year, too, that would have been so cool. He could have gotten, like, 10. Wow, okay, well, he would actually be a really fun player to use for another season, but I'm not going to go another year. 5 experience points for Derwin James. He would have been a 99 with confidence. Bowers has 3. Where's Bethea? He has 2. So this defense was very good. The offense, not so much. If we could have drafted like a really good offensive lineman and a really good wide receiver early, this team, I feel like, could have won a playoff game. But thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.